कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमः Yeah, another one, Katha. Hare Krishna. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare नाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलि सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Recently, I solved one interesting problem in management about which I will share with you, and it has a direct relationship to Bhagavad Gita verse. In one particular temple, there was one person heading, the outreach department, and there were other people who were heading other departments, like what do you call it, kitchen and other things like that. So some of these people in other departments came together, 3-4 of them, and they started a college outreach program. So, and they were actually making beautiful plans and ideas to develop preaching in the temple. So this outreach department was not functioning so well. Much was happening, but they saw some successes happening here. Immediately, this person said, "You guys should report to me because this comes under outreach department. You should report." So these people said, "See, we are preaching and making devotees for the temple and community. Why should we report to you? We are directly under the temple authorities, president or whatever, and they are all leaders in the temple." So this group's fear was what? If we are like this, by reporting here, then we come under this person, and we don't know what all conditions he will put later. And he may demand that you don't follow this model, you should follow this model, he may say that. That was one of their fears. And by the way, he's also like a equal, outreach let him do something, and we want to do independently. They wanted freedom, independence. But this person said, if you come under me, I'll give you some facilities. But if you don't come under me, you don't get facilities, you will be on your own. So they were thinking whether to be like this or be here. At the same time, their complaint was, this earlier we have experience of being with him. He reports to GBC all the activities that we do as his department activities, without even quoting our name. You understand? Huh? He presents it as if he has done everything. And our name, he doesn't even put us in front of the leaders. And we are in the background. So we want to show our leaders that we also exist. So we directly want to show our leaders that we exist. So this is actually the tussle between the two. So I showed them, I showed this team one picture, I'll just show you. This is what I showed. No. I said, you two of you are like this, dear, fighting for supremacy. And both the deers want the whole ground. They say that I want freedom and you don't come here. So this is my place, my place. If two devotees fight like this within the same temple, they are cancelling each other's energy. So he said, Prabhu, this is such a beautiful video, he said. So lion came and captured him. An open ground lion could capture him. This thing. One of the deers became a victim now. No? So what is the lion like? Lion is like another organization. If two ISKCON devotees fight, another organization will come and take over. Correct now? I told our energy should be like this, directed against Maya. It should not be, nullifying each other. So that was a very interesting point for them. But then they were saying, but how, Prabhuji, we do that? Because both have to grow in maturity. You agree? Now the trust has to develop between these two departments. Like these people should express their concern to the authority that we will work under you, but you have to give us freedom to work under you. And don't be attached to the style which we will follow. And don't too much put pressure. You should facilitate us. You should guide us. You should help us and be a friend of us and encourage us and also inspire us by giving access to your superiors also by doing that. But what they don't want him to do is control us or super micromanagement. Don't micromanaging. They don't want. They don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be cheated of their hard work. That he takes all the credit, and they don't give the credit to him. In this connection, there is a very interesting verse. You all know that Karmaneva Adhikaras. It has 4 components. That verse. First line says Karmaneva Adhikaraste. That means be responsible for your work. Second verse says Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. Be detached from the fruits. Third line says Ma Karmapala Hetur Bhur. Means don't be proud of having done that activity. And fourth says Mate Sangosto Karmani. Don't be lazy. It says. So in Sanskrit, the be detached means don't be a falakankshi. And then he says, don't be proud means nirmamo nirahankara. And don't be lazy means vigata jvara. So all these are there in that another verse 3.30 also. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyaspa vigata jvara. These components are there also in that verse also. So I'm going to show you interesting PPT. The beauty of this PPT is it's very elementary PPT. It is like spoon-fed, you can say. You may wonder, Prabhuji, we are all senior devotees sitting here. Why do you show such an elementary PPT? Don't ask me. Because for you, it will be useful for you to teach young devotees. Therefore, this is made very, very utterly simple. But although this PowerPoint show is very elementary, the concepts are very deep and not very easy to apply. And if we apply them in our life won't be the same. There will be a very big difference. We all play 2 roles. As a subordinate role to some superior, and we play a superior role to some subordinate. So how we should play both these roles effectively can be learned from this. So those devotees who think very deeply about these concepts, what we are going to share today, and also take its personal application in life, and apply in one's life, apply in others' life, then it can make a very big difference. So I told this group, I was not meeting that outreach leader, but I was meeting this group. So I was telling these people, actually, it is in your interest to work under him, because they will give you a lot of facilities for you. You can take advantage of the facilities of the temple. They'll give you car, they'll give prasadam from the temple, and they will give you money also for your activities. So many facilities they'll give you. If you don't take advantage of the facility, another thing I told, you feel that he takes the credit of everything. So you make a report where you give him also prominence. First report, you put his photo and say he's outreach head, you put. And then you put your photo also. No problem. Then you can have all your photos subsequently and you won't mind it. So that way your role is also there, his role is also there. And for putting his photo, he gives you so much facility also. He provide you everything like that. And I said, you go and meet him and say, Prabhu, I am ready. We are ready to work under you, work with you, and work under you, and go with you. So you go and speak like this, because inside ISKCON we should not cancel each other's energy. I told them. So at that time I felt this verse is a very, very important verse. This Karmanevadikar to teach. It has to be learned and taught. I felt. Okay. This is a verse. Let's repeat this verse. Karmanevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. Please, one of you read this. There are 4 components in this. Yeah.
First, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Concentrate. Second, you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Be detached. Third, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. Shift your attitude from doer to divine. Fourth, never be attached to not doing your duty. Remember that performance of duty itself is the reward.
So let us say 1 or 2 lines about each of this. We should concentrate on our duty and be detached from its fruits. Why? We will show it in the subsequent slides. Our concentration on one thing at a time is very much possible by understanding this first concept. Like you see, if you are playing table tennis or something, if you keep looking at the scoreboard, you are likely to miss. So don't worry about the scoreboard. If you play well, your score will naturally increase. And in interval time, you can see the score. Isn't it? Similarly, there is one famous writer in English called Goethe. He said, do not allow what you cannot do, interfere with what you can do. So, what is the meaning of that? Do not allow things which you cannot. If that occupies your mind, it's a waste of time. It's beyond you. Therefore, you concentrate on your work in hand. Like you heard the saying also, no? Your bird in hand is better than 2 in bush. Something is within your reach. You focus on that. The second one, he says, you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Be detached. We will see why. Okay, let us go to the slides, because see, the concentration has 3 aspects here: attention, awareness, and absorption. Here you see Arjuna focusing attention on the eye of the wooden bird, which means putting heart when we do any work, paying attention to details. I heard once my Guru Maharaj say this: paying attention to details is a sign of love. One time, one Prabhupada's Mataji disciple, she gave Prabhupada the bead bag with, this counter beads with 4 in 1 color, like a pearl kind of thing, transparent, translucent. So 1 color like that, 4 plus 4 plus 4, 16 with that. So Prabhupada saw that and he liked it very much. And also there was a picture of Krishna, Radhakrishna was there. So Prabhupada had called for the book distributors, some 3-4 book distributors, big distributors had come after getting a very big score. So they thought Prabhupada is going to appreciate us, praise us. And Prabhupada called them and they all sat around. And Prabhupada started glorifying the bead bag. And he was telling how beautifully it is made, you see this. And they were wondering, Prabhupada didn't say a word about book distribution. And then Prabhupada said, paying attention to details is a sign of love, he said. So, why Prabhupada did that on purpose? Because Prabhupada definitely appreciated book distribution, undoubtedly, always. But also Prabhupada wanted to show that the service we do also should be done meticulously by paying attention. Like one generally gets used to the success after success after success. One can become addicted to success. Like Indra was getting Indra Puja every year. So I heard one lecture by my spiritual master. He said he became a spoiled brat. He said spoiled brat means like a child becomes naughty when he is repeatedly given what he demands, like that. So therefore, Prabhupada wanted to show them, okay, you all have distributed books. It's very good. At the same time, we should not be proud also. And the second one, be aware of the total picture. When the NBCC construction was going on, I saw some masons doing. I just asked the mason, "What are you doing?" One mason said, "I'm just putting the bricks and making a wall." I asked another mason, "What are you doing?" He said, "We are making a hall." He said, "There's going to be a hall in the ground floor." Another mason I asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm building a temple for the Lord. I am so fortunate in my life. I have never got a chance to build a temple in my life. I've been building houses." So he said, that means out of the three, who is most aware? Third one. So if all of us can see life as a gift of Krishna, an opportunity for purification and development in spiritual life, then with that awareness, life would be very fulfilling. Every day morning you get up, every day night you go to sleep. Every moment is an opportunity for me to purify my heart and awaken love for Krishna one step closer. So one has to see life as such an opportunity. Therefore he says, na utpadiye yadiratim samahi kevalam, he says. And third one here, absorb, completely be oblivious of anything else in the world. There is an arrow maker example given in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto in the 24 Gurus. So he was polishing the arrow. At the time, a very big julus, one procession went. But, later on someone asked the arrow maker, "Did you see the king and all the retinue? All his people, thousands of people are walking, horses, elephants, chariots and everything." And the arrow maker said, "I never noticed it." And what is the reason? He was fully absorbed. Like a blotting paper with the ink pen, if you touch it, it just absorbs. So, sometimes when a person is absorbed in work, his eyes may be open, but he may not notice the things around. Such absorption, if it is achieved, then the concentration is at the peak. There's an example of one sage was sitting at the end of a forest under a tree and doing meditation. One lady, it was getting a little dark, and she was running fastly, calling out for her husband because she wanted her husband to come back before it gets very dark. There may be dangerous animals. So when she was running, her leg hit the sage. And then she went ahead, and sage opened his eyes and looked at her and became angry with her. And then within another 5-10 minutes, she was returning with the husband. And she was actually scolding the husband, "Why are you so late? It's not good to stay here after 6. The animals start roaming around." They were coming. And then when she saw the sage, she was offering obeisances. She told her husband also, "Come, let's offer namaskar." Both were offering namaskar. And the sage asked her, "You see, when you are going to forest, you kicked me and went. Now you are doing obeisances to me?" She said, What are you saying? I don't know. I never noticed that." Then he said, "You didn't notice it?" She said, "I never noticed it." Why she didn't notice it? Anybody can say? She was absorbed in searching. But then the sage had a very great flash of realization. If I became absorbed in Krishna like this, I would not have noticed her hitting me. That he thought. Correct, no? So, such absorption we need in chanting also. So, his own Loknath Maharaj was once telling, you should chant in such a way that others should feel afraid to disturb you in your chanting. He said, imagine somebody, Hare Krishna, they are intensely chanting. People come near to say something and they say, "Oh, no, not now. I think I will come later." But if I am opening my eyes and walking, giving invitation to others, anybody want to talk to me? Isn't it? So, that's why you should chant with absorption, correct, no? Because if you are walking, looking here and there, people definitely come to you, correct, no? So, these 3 A's we can remember. Therefore, I put picture also. If you see the picture, you can easily remember. For attention, I gave example of Arjuna. And for awareness, building a temple. And for absorption, example I gave. Correct, no?
We feel afraid of disturbing when you are chanting.
All of us, we try our best to sit and chant if we can. Generally, we sit and chant, then nobody may disturb us, generally speaking. Okay, this is about concentration. Mm. See, don't worry about too much text here. Uh, we don't have to worry about this. What it essentially says is, everybody should do their best. Every one of us sitting here, our best is same or different? Different. Mm. Everybody can jump to different heights, correct? No? But everybody should put their best. Like, for example, in some intelligent school educational syllabuses, what they do, they test the child against the child's capacity rather than having a common benchmark for all their children. You understand that, right? Because a child, whatever, so that kind of assessment is the best assessment. Mm. So the child feels very confident. This is his potential, but he's only working this much. He's getting 60% out of his potential. Then he should be taught to put one's full best. Mm. So what example I have given? Somebody can explain this example? Why we have given Jatayu's example? Jatayu was a very old eagle, isn't it? When he confronted Ravana, Ravana was surprised. Hey, old eagle, why are you coming in my way? You know, if you will lose your life, he said. And Jatayu said, yes, as long as I am alive, you can't take Sita away, he said. And then Jatayu, with his claws, he tore the Ravana's kavach. And with his beaks, he killed the mule, which was drawing Pushpaka Viman. Then Ravana understood, hey, even he is very powerful, although he's an old eagle. So Ravana took his sword and cut off one of the wings of Jatayu. See? Jatayu was going down from the sky, and Sita was covering her face and weeping loudly. When Jatayu heard the weeping sound of Sita, that gave him energy to again go up with one wing. With one wing was moving like this and trying to attack Ravana again. Then Ravana cut that wing also. Now Jatayu had lost both the wings now. So he fell to the ground in completely bloody mess. And he was struggling for maintaining life. And of course, he went away from there. And then subsequently, you can see Lord Rama nursing Jatayu with Lakshman. And Rama wept for him, actually. And he accepted him as his own father and performed the Antyeshti. In the right side picture, you see Jatayu getting Jatayu Moksham. Lord Rama is blessing him to go to Vaikuntha that very evening. See, Rama, pleased with Jatayu, sent Jatayu to Vaikuntha. Though Jatayu was defeated in the battle, have you ever heard in any exam in this world where you fail and you get the degree? When Jatayu is the only example, isn't it? Although Jatayu was defeated by Ravana in the battle, materially he was defeated, spiritually he was successful. The reason is he exerted his level best. He put his full best. That's the point. So, in our chanting of the holy name also, if we can give our best possible attention, His Holiness Sachibudas Maharaj writes in his book, Japa Reform. He says, if one cannot chant with feeling, then one should actually cry that, my Lord, my heart is like a stone, and I have no feelings, because I am not grateful to anybody. I am not prayerful to you. I am not repentant about my past mistakes. I am not begging for shelter. And I am considering myself potent and very powerful. So please give me the right attitude to surrender to you. So we can cry that I am not able to cry, like that he says. Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam na grihyamaneir harinama deyeir na vikriyetata yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harsha. That verse says this. That heart is steel framed, which upon chanting the holy name does not melt and doesn't produce tears, like that it says. So now, okay. Actually, in the Gita, Lord Krishna explains that if you are endeavoring for self-purification, that is actually in Sattva-guna. Sattva-guna people do any work for what purpose? For purifying the heart. And Rajoguna people do any work because of their phalakankshi. They expect the fruits. Correct now? So, and Tamaguna people, for example, they avoid work out of lethargy and laziness, isn't it? So now, many times we use the word purification. What it is? It is put in very simple terms here. What is the mentality of the people who have an impure heart? I own everything. I am the boss of everyone. Everyone should be at my beck and call. Everything is for men, for my enjoyment. So now these two departments I was telling you. One is heading the department, and another the few people are working independently. So now with both the parties, they want to be boss. You understand now? Nobody want to be boss. They want to. So I am the boss. So therefore they both are suffering actually. So one of the things that is a. So these three things you all know: that lust, anger, greed. Can you map it to this? Lust, anger, greed. It will match it with which one? Lust is enjoyership. And anger is which one? Controllership. And greed is proprietorship. So let us take some example to understand this. Greedy. Who was greedy to possess more and more land? To begin with, you can say Dhritarashtra. He wanted to usurp the Pandavas' property. Then you can say Hiranyakashipu, or even Dhruva, even Bali Maharaj. All these people in the ancient times, right? In the later times, we have like Alexander, who wanted to occupy, like British people are colonizing the entire world, isn't it? Mughals invading India. So these are examples of people wanting to expand their domain. Now anybody can tell me why somebody want to expand their domain to other countries and take over. What is the goal of that? What will they do after? For example, the Mughals are coming, British are coming into India. After coming, what they will do? Control, yeah. First comes proprietorship. First you possess the place, and then you control the place, control the people living in that place. Then you want to control them. Now, how do you control them? There are various ways you can control. For example, you can make them into slaves and ask them to clean your shoes, or ask them to become slaves, change their religion, convert them. That's another thing they may do. What other way you can control them? And you can tell them to pay a heavy tax, 30%, 35% tax you pay. And you can enjoy their money. You can loot their wealth of the country. Correct? No? That's what they did. They looted the wealth. Sometimes the women were mistreated. The men's pocket was looted. And the land was usurped. Correct? No? And then we can also, as you said, promote their own narrow-minded understanding of religion uh, by brutal force. Correct? Now, these are all control and enjoyership. So now it is not that only big kings did that in those days. Now this is an old concept. No, it's a recent concept, most relevant concept even now. You can see this child want to eat the whole cake. See this fella. You want to be proprietor of the whole cake, isn't it? On the right side you have Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. Yeah. Hiranyakashipu wanted to be a Trilokadipati. He wanted to be a lord of all the three worlds. There is one very nice verse in the Bhagavatam. You can see what it says. You can recite this verse. All of you. Saitam nirjita kakub Yekarat Vishayan Priyan Yatopajosham Bhunjano Natrupyat Ajitendriyaha. One of you read the translation.
In spite of achieving the power to control in all directions, and in spite of enjoying all types of dear sense gratification as much as possible, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant.
Yeah. So he gained the power to control all directions, he's saying. All the 8 directions he was controlling. In fact, he told wetting agent, drying agent, heating agent to resign from their jobs. Who is the wetting agent? Yeah. And who is the drying agent? And the heating agent? Agni. So he told all of them, they all said, sir, if we don't do our work, how will the universe go? He said, I will take care of it. And what are we supposed to do? Just clap hands. He said, just appreciate what I'm doing. That's all, he said. So he was not giving them their own work to do. They all had to resign and go. And not only that, he was controlling, like if sun is hot, he would just move his eyebrows and threaten the sun. Hey! And the sun would immediately, sorry sir, he would just withdraw the temperature. He was frightening all the demigods like that. And then he says here, even though he was enjoying all type of sense gratification, but he was dissatisfied. He says, why? Because instead of controlling his senses, he remained the servant of his senses. Godas. Adanta Govir, Visharam Damishram, Puna Charvita Charvana. Which means, actually, my special master in Hyderabad was giving a lecture in those days when he came once, 10, 12 years ago. Very amazing lecture it was. He says, in the lecture he was telling, in this world, big fellows give trouble to small fellows. Therefore, we say, Falguni Tatra Mahatam. The weaklings are troubled by bigger ones. You all know that fly is eaten by a frog, frog by a snake, snake by an eagle, like that. You know that. Similarly, you will find a less intelligent boy, he loses his job for a more intelligent boy. It happens like that, correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, a weaker company is followed by a bigger company. Correct, no? I heard WhatsApp is followed by Facebook, I think, right? Yeah. Nokia is followed by another company. Who knows? Microsoft, yeah. Nokia is followed by Microsoft now. So smaller companies are followed by bigger companies. We know that. But Maharaj was telling another interesting thing. He said, not only the smaller people are troubled by bigger people are troubled by smaller people. And the example he gave was that the tiger, when it comes out of the den, there is a bird which makes a sound and drives away the animals. Like that, it makes a sound. And when the bird makes a sound, everybody knows the signal that tiger is out. Then all the deers run away, rabbits run away. And the tiger becomes angry on the bird, but he can't do anything because the bird is sitting on the tree. The small bird, So Maharaj was telling, Prahlad was like that for Hiranyakashipu. As he was telling. That means, same manner you will find when the children are small, sometimes they feel, mother is saying, hey, beta, sit here. He says, eat this, don't go out, you won't go out. They are in full control, correct, no? So when somebody is very small, they don't like to be controlled, but they have no other alternative. But when they grow big, then they are opposite control, correct, no? Isn't it? Then the small controls the big. Initially, big controls the small. You will see that. That's the law of the material world. You will see that. So here also, you will find Hiranyakashipu. But when does this control become a problem, I will tell you. Recently, I met His Grace Anandam Prabhu in Bombay. I was very much appreciating him. I got to know a little more. Saturday, Sunday, he and 200 people, they chant 30 to 30 rounds, they chant every week. And on Ekadashi days, they chant 64 rounds. I think once a month or twice a month, I think, they chant. And once in 3 months or so, they chant 128 rounds, I think, they chant. And I think 2 times a year, they chant 192 rounds during Haridas Thakur's appearance day and Mandav Nirjala Ekadashi, I think. So he was sharing all those things we were talking. And I asked Prabhuji that, Prabhu, how you have become so advanced in such, in the recent past I am observing. I have been always seeing you as a question asking person in Maharaj's lectures, sitting in the front. He used to ask many questions. Because Shastras say that if somebody has developed a taste for hearing the Bhagavatam, and also developed a strong taste for chanting the holy name, he is supposed to be a very advanced devotee. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata mat katha shavanadava shraddha yavan najayate. Lord told Uddhava, Lord Krishna is telling. He's saying, Tavat karmani kurvita. Engage in varnashrama dharma of brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, and Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. How long? Krishna gives a period. He says, Tavat karmani, tavat means up to that point of time. Engage in karmani kurvita. Engage in your fruitive activities and offer the fruits to Lord. Na nirvidyeta yavata. As long as you have not become detached from this world. And how do you know whether I am detached? He says, Mat kata shravanada va. He's saying, when you have developed a very strong taste for not only katha, adav means including chanting also. You should have a strong taste for Krishna's katha, and you should have strong taste for the chanting of the holy name and strong taste for the seva for Hari Guru Vaishnavas. Namya Ruchi, Jivadaya and Vaishnava Seva. When strong taste has developed for this, and then Shraddha has developed, at that time you can go beyond the fruitive activities, he's saying. You can give up. So, I deeply respect anybody like that, Gudakesh Prabhu or Krishnanand Prabhu or Anandam Prabhu. Then I asked him, what is your inspiration, Prabhu, or motivation? How did you? He said, that was one turning point meeting I had with His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He said, I had gone to his room to ask some questions. So he said, Maharaj told him, you see, in our life, the only wealth is the holy name. And as we get older, Maharaj said that, there is one painful reality that we all will encounter as we get older. Many people will not be interested in us. And also, many people will not listen to us as we get older and older. So, if you develop taste for the chanting of the holy name, you can just sit and chant. You actually, whether others listen or not, Krishna listens. If you chant the holy, he says that wherever there is my chanting going on, I am present. Correct, no? So once a person has developed taste for chanting, even if people around you don't listen also, you can just take a bit back and sit and chant. Hours and hours you can chant. And nobody can criticize a person who is chanting because it's the most glorious activity to do. Isn't it? What is that verse? He says that, there is no other way, no other way, no other way. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam. Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gutrinita. So in Kali Yuga, there is no better activity than this to do. So you are doing the top class activity. Dayaram Prabhu in Calcutta was telling once, Vaishnava, if somebody is ready to chant all day, you bring him to me. I will give him 3 times prasad and accommodation in our temple. Just one fellow you find out from anywhere and bring. All day he can chant. He said everybody is ready to do everything except chanting. Isn't it? So Maharaj told him this one thing, that if you develop a taste for chanting, even if people don't listen, with your aging body, you don't have to worry. You will experience higher and higher taste, he told him. Second thing Maharaj told him that, Maharaj also told him that when others don't listen to you, you become emotionally disturbed. That emotionally one gets pained deeply. Imagine if somebody is telling wife something and she's not listening, or telling the sons and daughters, or the grandchildren, granddaughters. They are not listening because your age is old, and people think there's an age gap, communication, generation gap. There's a generation gap because of which they think this is old. They don't understand our mindset. They think like that. So he said that time mind is pained, but when you chant the holy name, that pain in the mind can be relieved. All that is troublesome to the heart will be destroyed by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy name. And Maharaj told him another thing. He said youngsters have a tendency to run around and do some big things, accomplish big goals for the moment and show also. See what I did there. So we have that passion in us, and that passion is rightly utilized when we distribute books or start preaching programs and collect a lot of people to the movement, and we have the pride of having preached and brought somebody and all those things when we are very young. But as we get older, our body starts giving different type of troubles. Sometimes we have back pain, sometimes we have stomach pain, sometimes we have liver not working properly or kidney not working properly. Different people have different troubles. You cross 40 years of age, everybody has unique complication in this world. And Maharaj said, when you become 60, 70, Maharaj told him, your time will come when you will not be able to move much. Now some of the Maharajas in ISKCON are told by doctors that you should just stick to one place now. In this age, if you move around much, it is not good for you. For some of them, they have crossed 78, 80, like that. They have been told just to stay in one place. And Maharaj told for a person who has been running around a lot, to stay in one place is little difficult. But if you develop taste for chanting holy name, Maharaj told him the only activity which can go on till the last breath is your lips can move. Your lips can be moving. You can be chanting. Even with your hands, some people get what do you call this? Paralysis attack. And the body cannot be moved or bedridden. Even at that stage also, if you have developed taste for chanting, you continuously can chant. So for these two reasons, one is the physical defeat, another one is emotional defeat. For both, the holy name is very good. He was telling. Nice, no? So I was very happy to hear that. So at least I understood that I also have developed more taste for the chanting. Why do we associate with devotees too? We have to take some inspiration from them. So in this way, see, look at this fellow. He became Trilok Adipati, but he was not satisfied because of his controlling mentality. So in this way, this proprietorship mentality. See, controllership. See, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law fight is well known here. You see here. Actually, wife is thinking that I want to have my husband in my pocket. And mother is thinking I want to have him in my pocket. So both are pulling. Correct, no? Actually, intelligent man should tell his mother that I am always yours. And he should tell his wife that I am always yours. And he has to give them that feeling, not only say that. And who can do that? Only a person who is very mature in spiritual life, very detached, very advanced and very detached and very mature. Otherwise, it's not very easy. You all agree it's difficult? Yeah, very difficult. Because both want to control. Mother want to control, wife. Which pocket you have to be in? Whose pocket? Isn't it? See, this fellow want to control the whole globe. You want to take it under his control. Everything is mine. This fellow is sitting on gold biscuits and having a sack of dollar notes. So the whole thing is, see, control is related to anger. For example, Durvasa Muni tried to control Ambarish. He couldn't. I became very angry on Ambarish, correct, no? He got into trouble. Hiranyakashipu tried to control Prahlad. Could he control? So he became. That means when he cannot control, we become angry. Yeah. Similarly, when you want to possess more and more, and that is greed. There is enough in this world for everyone's need, but not for one man's greed, we say. Yeah. So, in our life also, if I'm a leader or a manager or a counselor, if I see myself as a facilitator, I want to. Maharaj used to always tell teachers that you should always ask the question: how best can I serve in this situation? How can I serve this person? If somebody sends somebody to me, what does this person need for getting encouraged in devotional service? Sometimes the best way we can serve a person is to leave that person alone and not interfere too much. Sometimes the best way we can help a person is to instruct the person and correct him. Sometimes the best way we can serve a person is to give an advice or guidance or whatever. So, or sometimes the best way we can help a person is to make him think and make a decision and empower him to make decision. So therefore, the controlling is not liked by anybody. Now these people were not liking to work under this because they perceived some amount of controlling. So if we are here, then we don't like to be controlled. Nobody likes to be controlled. So they want to pull out of that control. And by pulling out of the control, they are depriving themselves of some opportunities and facilities which will be available for preaching, correct? No? But in this world, everybody wants to know. Everybody says, you are under me. And that fellow says, no, you are under me. Everybody wants everybody else below them and to lord over them. In a family also, every member of the family, imagine if everybody thinks others should be under me and they should listen to me and my opinion is very important. That's a very unhappy family, although they can have a board, a home sweet home, isn't it? So for a home to be a sweet home, then this control mentality has to be given up. See, enjoyership mentality. See here, this kid has taken away all the toys. I am the enjoyer. I want to enjoy. So Ravana is trying to take away Sita. So these are the mentalities. Actually, you don't think only children do this. Like sometimes people want the best departments also to take. For example, imagine there are 20 departments. You want to take those departments which are very vital, very important. You will get a lot of praises, and So we also should think about our neighbor also. I heard one interesting story. In one farm, there was a cock, there was a pig, and a bull living in a farmer's, what do you call it, estate or something. So there was a rat also living in that colony, in that place. So one day the rat ran to the cock and said, "Hey, my dear cock, did you hear the news? They have put a rat trap to catch me. Not a trap. There is one wooden board like thing and a steel thing. Like that it will hit and catch the rat. Sometimes the rat's body splashes also. Very horrible it is. So one house farmer had put that to catch the rat because he thought the rat is biting the sacks and all that. So rat was horrified. In the night, by mistake, if I go and pull that, I will get caught in that. So the cock said, "That's your problem, my friend. Why do you come to me? I'm not going to be caught in that," he said. And pig said the same thing. And the bull said, "This is not something I have to bother about. Get lost, don't waste my time." So anyway, what to do? The rat, poor rat, was crying. He never came out of the hole. He became very thin because he didn't eat many days properly. He thought they are going to catch me, kill me. And one of the days, he saw something very amazing. Because what happened was, in the night, sound came. Then immediately the farmer told his wife, "I think the rat got trapped in that." So then the lady wanted to check it, put on the light and check. So she went to that spot, and it was not a rat, it was a snake. And the snake had got stuck in that thing. And when she went near, the snake bit her. She screamed, and the farmer put on the light. She fell to the ground and rushed to the doctor. When the relatives came to know, four or five relatives came to see what happened. And the farmer told his son, "Cut the cock." Relatives have come, 4 or 5 people. They cut the cock, and the cock was cut, and they cooked it. They ate. But then the lady was not getting better. 2 weeks passed. The high fever. Some more relatives came to see her. What is happening? What is the reason? ICU and all that. Then he said, "Now cut the pig," he said, because now more relatives came. Then afterward, the lady died after 20 days. Then big amount of relatives came. Now he said, cut the bull also. The bull was also cut. In this way, rat was watching all this tamasha. And none of them came to his help. But now he is survival. He is the only survival. All other fellows are gone. The moral of the story is what? In the community, no one should be careless about the others. That is because it's a community. Everybody should worry about one another. So actually, that nature you will find in Chaitanya Leela. Everybody is concerned about everybody else also. Everybody is concerned. So actually, enjoy means I enjoy and you suffer. That's the mentality. I win and you lose. That's very bad mentality. It is. Enjoyship mentality. So these are the 3 things we have to see. Why we have to give up the worry. Here is the reason given here. See, now you do your best. You understood for purification, and we sow the seeds. God gives the rains. So what is in our hand? Sowing the seed. What is in God's hand? So if giving rain is in God's hand, why should I waste my mental energy worrying about it? I should do my part. Sowing the seed. Not bother about the rains. Krishna will give the rains. Similarly, we give the interview and the panel has to choose us for the job, isn't it? See? You write the exam, isn't it? You're writing with great anxiety, isn't it? And the marks will be given by the teacher, isn't it? So you do your part well. So that is a thing we learn. Do your best and give up worry about the result. Okay. Now a question to you. Why should we give up the worry about the result? It's not in our hands. Something is not in our hands, then why worry? Unnecessarily about it. It's a waste time. Worry time is a waste time. Also, if something went wrong, also we should not worry. We can learn from the mistake and not keep talking about it. Like one time, one boy who used to get centum always, 100 always. One day came and told his friends, all the 4 questions I answered, this time also I'll get centum, he said. Friends said, not 4 questions, there were 5 questions. But where was the 5th question? They turned around the page and showed him on this side. And the boy was like shattered. I never turned the page at all. So he cried and cried and cried. 1 year he was crying. Because he had the pride that I never get less marks. But this time he had only written for 80 marks. Now out of 100. Any of you have experienced like that in your life? You made a mistake unknowingly and then you lamented a lot for it. Correct, no? So how much do you lament? 1 day you lament, or 1 week, or 1 month? Some people lament for years also. Some people. So is that lamentation period worthy? Why it's not worthy? What cannot be cured must be endured. And therefore, what is not? See, some mistakes are irreversible. Say, you went to the marketplace, but you kept your bag with a wallet or something, and then you were talking to somebody, you went to the shop and you left it there only. Then when you went back and saw, you didn't find it. Now what can you do? Next time you can be careful. But if it is lost, don't keep on lamenting about what cannot be changed. So that means don't worry about the past. Similarly, don't worry about the future also. Don't fear about the future because that's not in your hands. You can only sow the seed. God has to give the rains. That's the reason why we don't worry. Worry may bury you, it is said. Huh? And yeah.
One question I have. This consciousness. So this consciousness of do your best and giving up worry about result. Like no, there's one thought which we start seeing now is like result is also a reflection of how well we had put the effort. Because
But that should be done after the result comes. See, for example, I write examination. Now the result came not so well, for example. Then I can reflect on, I thought I did well, but why did I get poor marks? Let me go through the paper. Oh, here I made this mistake. The next time I should take care I don't make this mistake. Then reflection is a meaningful reflection.
So, I mean, that is where the whole cycle starts because we don't know what is our best.
Yes.
Because there is always something which we have missed.
No, actually, when we say do your best, your capacity is not difficult to ascertain. Like nowadays, you can go for a mock test also nowadays. Whether one can try IIT JEE or not, they will tell you. In those days, there were two exams, IIT JEE and AIEEE. Correct, no? For some boys, they will say, you try IIT JEE, you try AIEEE, you try CET. They say like that because IQ levels are known. They test your IQ level based on exams. And then they tell, don't waste time in this exam because neither will get this, not this. Better that you try for this, they say or not. Isn't it? That means your capacity, intellectual capacity is ascertainable to a considerable degree. Even they do that in tuition centers, they do that. Which is in the same manner, your physical capacity, for example, your mental capacity, we all know that what I can handle. Say, for example, you can't handle some person who is a very, very critical person, blasphemous person. Then you know that emotionally you cannot handle him. Some people can handle him, but I cannot handle. So you don't go near him only. You keep away. That's why it says Ishware tadadineshu balisheshu drishachucha prema maitri kripa upeksha yakarote samadhima. Upeksha means, see, he is told to keep upeksha. But people like Nityan Prabhu, they are said to be Marakheya Premde. They can go to such atrocious persons also. Because they can show compassion to even very, very dangerous people also. Like Narada is showing compassion to Daksha Prajapati. Nityananda Prabhu is showing compassion to Jagai Madaya. Narada saw Valmiki coming with a sword running towards them. You must have seen the picture. It comes running towards. Actually, imagine, is there anyone in this world who will be daring enough to stand in front of someone who is coming running towards you with a sword? And Narada is smiling and standing. Because Uttamadhikaris can give mercy to even such people. But we cannot imitate. Therefore, we do upeksha. But after doing upeksha, we don't hate them. We pray for them. So that by praying for them, they benefit. By praying for them, you give up the malice. So who benefits? Both benefit. Either said.
Actually, yes, Proji. So some things which are so objective, like as you're mentioning, no intellectual or physical capacity, that is fine. But let's say I'm talking more from the context of, let's say, parenting. We expect certain results. And by the time result will come, then no.
Oh, that is going to come now. About we should not keep expectations. I'll tell you why. That point is going to come just now. Okay, we'll show that. We'll come to that. These are the 4 most important boxes. This slide, I would say, the most important slide of the whole thing, although it's written small. We will read one by one. This is the first one you know very well. You have the right to perform prescribed duty. Yes.
This question, there are capacities to be ascertained, but this remains in the realm of one's duty to perform.
Correct.
When it goes to something like the spiritual obligations, it is like ABCD, above and beyond call of duty. So there, how should one ascertain, whether we are doing within our capacity or, because anything is okay
There
at a level.
There also you can make a plan of comfort zone, stress zone, panic zone. Now, how do you know? See, comfort zone is a zone where life is boring. There are no challenges for us. You are just sitting and staring at the sky. You think, Every day the same old routine. You get bored with life. Huh? And in stretch zone, you are getting fresh new challenges. And when you fulfill those challenges, then you get a thrill. And they are little beyond your ability. What you can do. Isn't it? A little beyond your capacity, ability. And that's what we call as adventure. Adventure means it's not easy for you, but after having done that, you have little tears also in your eyes and you say, at last I could complete it. That type of challenge. And then in the panic zone, you lost your cool head. You've gone practically mad, and people are seeing that you are not peaceful. People say, Prabhu, please relax. Don't take so much. And you're panicking, you're crying, you're weeping, you're losing your cool head, and your normal lifestyle is hampered by that. And such kind of, it's like keeping a big big coconut on the head of a sparrow. The sparrow will become chutney. That's not to be done. Correct? No? You can't handle it. So we don't go to the panic zone. In spiritual life also, in the name of caring for people, if you take two more and more people under you, then one day you will find that you don't have time for yourself, even for the basic things you do. So one has to ascertain one's capacity. Different people's capacity is different also. So comfort zone, stretch zone. So which zone? So in stretch zone, the flow happens. Flow means thrill. So each of us can check, is my spiritual life thrilling for me or is it a nightmare for me? Correct? No? If it is becoming a nightmare, we are in panic zone. If it is boring, that means you are in comfort zone. That means my capacity is more, but I am not exerting enough. So Krishna says, yatantascha dridhavrataha. With determination, one has to endeavor, he says. Yeah. So, see, read this red one. The work must be done. Who has the mic with you? Work must be done.
Work must be done not just for material results, but also the spiritual results.
Yeah. Like for example, therefore there is varna and ashrama. Varna is material duties, and ashrama is spiritual duties. And one has to do both. There was varna ashrama. So the king's first job, Prithu Maharaj did was, as soon as he became the king, he immediately divided the society according to varnashrama. Because as soon as varnashrama division is done, the mind becomes peaceful. See what happened in India when the tractors came, the farmers went out of job. Bulls also went out of job. Bulls were sent to slaughterhouse. Farmers started playing cards. They formed political parties. They fought with one another. Anytime they played cards and did gambling. They started drinking and all that. So if you want people to be responsible, they should be situated in their psychophysical nature, a job they should do. And for spiritual advancement, they should adopt a ashrama. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprasthanyasam. And so you should be responsible for both. Materially, spiritually, one should be responsible. And the purpose of action should be purification and knowledge. This is in Sattva Guna. And pleasure of Guru and Krishna in Vishuddha Sattva. Only if you think of Guru's pleasure, Vishuddha Sattva. So, and the detached action gradually leads to internal transformation. If somebody is working for purification, for example, the Brahmanas, he will perform his duty of giving knowledge and performing the pujas. He will do that. Kshatriya, he will protect. Imagine some Kshatriya saved you from a tiger or something. You give him 500 rupees, will you accept? As a remuneration? He will say, no, it was my duty. So, performance of duty itself is reward. So, when we understand this, that's responsibility. The second one, see, is the detachment. You are not entitled to the fruits of action. Do not be attached to results. Say, for example, try to consider this example. See, a Zamindar gave you 1 acre land. And Zamindar employed you as a mali. And he gave you the mango seeds, he gave you the pump to draw the water and to sow the seeds and cultivate the garden. Monthly he gives you salary. So you accept salary and then you produce mango trees. And the mangoes are coming. Now baskets of mangoes are coming. The mangoes belong to whom? They belong to Zamindar or you? Why? Because Zamindar gave you the seed. Like God told this farmer, you heard the story, no? God told, I gave you the seed. I gave the potency in the seed to grow. I gave the earth. I gave the water, I gave the sunlight. What have you done? You just then put it. And for you to put it, I'm giving you remuneration also. What is it? God is giving us food, clothing, shelter. This was correct now. He has given the body, which is clothing. He has given us the food, which is grains, fruits, and everything. And shelter means like we are sitting comfortably on the earth now. And He has given us building materials for us to build a house also. So He has given us what we need. But therefore, the fruits of all varnashram activities should be offered to Him. So what is that? Some sit there. That is called detachment. See, attachment to results creates lots of insecurity. Prabhu, here is your point coming. See that? Attachment to results creates lots of insecurity and anxiety. And if we do not get results, it leads to frustration. Like say, I am a perfectionist. I expect perfect results, but I get imperfect results. Then I get anxiety and frustration. And I become angry at people. I yell at people. I also make people cry. Yeah. So the prime motive of action is karma is purification, bhakti is to please Krishna. Okay. Krishna judges us only by our efforts. Therefore, in Krishna consciousness, Krishna judges us by our efforts, while people judge us by results. Correct, no? That's the beauty of Krishna. So second is detachment. So anybody wants to discuss anything on detachment? First one is responsibility. Second one is detachment. Mahaphaleshu kadachana. Because all fruits belong to the Lord, ultimately. I should only expect purification and to please Guru.
In our conditioned state, what we have observed is that being detached and do our best becomes a bit difficult. It is always that fruitive mentality is there which brings the best out of us.
Correct.
So how to give our best and also remain detached?
And therefore your goal of your work should not be the results, but purification of heart. Purification of heart, I told you just now. What are the three things you have to purify? These three things I want to purify. One example I'll tell you. In one temple, the leader called the two brahmacharis and told them, hey, you two guys go to that city and you start a preaching in that particular college and put up a center. One of you be a manager of the center, another one be a cook. You can do cooking and you can play harmonium, you do singing very well. And they both studied in the same college before. Now this person was very shocked. He said, Prabhu, you are sending both of us. He becomes manager and I am only a cook. How is it? I'm not, and we are equal in age also. But Prabhu said, this is how you are talented. You can offer best service to Krishna by cooking. And he can offer best service to Krishna by being preacher and manager. If you are willing to cooperate, then this center will boom. You can have 20, 30, 40 students. But this fellow said, Prabhu, you give me another center where I can be manager also. He wants to be manager. So then he goes to another center and he won't be a manager, he'll be a damager there. And here this manager doesn't have cook, doesn't have a singer. So which center flourishes out of the two? That means this person is not working for purification of heart. And he is not working for pleasing Guru. He is working to please his own ego. Correct now. So now some of you may say, Prabhuji, how can I work under my own equal friend?
Naturally disadvantaged. If you see that lion also catching one deer, another left. Right. Lord Vishnu is also catching Prithu Maharaj. Indra is scot free. I mean,
he's not scot free. He got stuck in heaven. Prithu went back to Godhead.
That is realizable post Prithu. Prithu did not realize that. Of course, I mean, he
realized it by surrendering to Lord. See, if you surrender to Lord, that realization will dawn in the heart that I have pleased the Lord. It's as good as going back to Godhead. Pleasing the Supreme Lord or the Guru. Yeah. Actually, therefore, it's not an ordinary thing. If you please the pure devotee, there's nothing more to be achieved. If you are pleased to Guru and Krishna, if your heart is purified of these three mentalities, you don't know what is the kind of freedom one can experience. If this proprietorship, controllership, penjaship mentality we give up. See, I have been 3 decades president in Pune here. I can't say I have cleansed my heart fully. But to some degree, I have had tussles with these three. But over the years I've experienced, in some situations we agree to forego the situation. In some situations we are kicked also, correct, no? Either by school of hard knocks you learn or by studying Shastra you learn. So the degree we are ready to give up this proprietorship, controllership, enjoyship mentality, purification will increase. And you will feel liberated, from all the things that are catching us in the world. Prakritistani karshati, that struggle we can give up. That's why he's saying here, um, attachment to results creates a lot of insecurity and anxiety, and if we do not get results leads to frustration. And Indra is frustrated very much. He is suffering from all these things. But Prithu surrendered to Lord and he became free from this anxiety fully. So first one is about responsibility. Second one is detachment. Yeah. I know that is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. What was practiced by Karmanaiva Hisam Siddhim Astito Janakadayah Loka Sangrahamevapi Sampashyan Kartumar. That is about our Lord's father-in-law. Who is it? Janak Maharaj. Yeah, correct. Lord is putting his father in as example. What a detached Janaka he was. He was doing Nishkama Karma Yoga. He was doing. And Nishkama Karma Yoga means what? Dutiful yet detached. Detached yet dutiful. It's not that because I am detached, I am not responsible. We should responsibly do our part. Like parents should raise the children with devotion, with love, with affection. And afterwards, if children don't turn out the way they expected, they should leave it. I have done my duty. That's all. So you will get credits for doing your duty. My Guru Maharaj was telling one parent, Maharaj, we raised the child in such a devotional environment, ambience. When he grew up beyond 15, now he has no interest in chanting, no interest in devotees. Maharaj said, see, Krishna has taken into account your dedication in raising the child. So you will get 100 out of 100 for the part that you did. And for that fellow, for not taking advantage of what you gave that person, he will get negative marks for that. You understand, no? So in your account, you got how many marks? And full marks you got. Like what Jata you got. You have done your part. And why he is still not becoming devotee? That is because you have some bad account in the past for which you have to suffer by seeing somebody who is not becoming devotee around you. Just like our Harsha Shoka caused suffering to Chitraketu. So in this way, dutiful.
On Vaishnava Bhajan is Amara Boli Ke Prabhu. So it is entirely about this thing.
Is it? It begins with?
Amara Boli Ke Prabhu Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
Amara Matra Pita Bandhu. So then he says, Bandhu Dara Sutta Sutta Tava Dasi Dasa. Saito Sambandhe Sabe Amara Praya. So I will just, as your property, I will just.
Correct. Yeah. And if you are giving me wife and children and family, they are all your property. They are all your part and parcels. You put them under me, under my custody. And I will give them the best Krishna conscious possible things to them and then hand them over to you. Like very beautiful song. The third one, the third one is here. Don't be proud. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. Why? Prabhupada said, did Einstein create his own brain? Prabhupada asked. Krishna gave him the brain. Krishna gave us the eyes and hands and legs and mouth and everything. Like all of us, you can see how we should be grateful. We have 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose, mouth, everything proper. Some people are blind, some are deaf. So we should be grateful. So Lord gave us instruments. Lord gave the 120 elements in Mandal's periodic table, correct? So in the Mandal's periodic table, in the top we should write, the source of all these 120 elements is Krishna, which they forgot to put. Correct now? So that means the elements we process are given by Krishna. The brain is given by Krishna. The instruments are given by Krishna. So what do I have to be proud of? Correct now? Yeah. Don't think you are the only cause of the result. There are many other factors beyond human this thing. Like that is it. Okay. And the last one, lazy. Never be attached to not doing your duty. See, purification means to purify our tendency of controlling proprietor and enjoyer, taking shelter of Krishna when things don't work, makes us realize that we are not controller, proprietor, enjoyer. That's how we get purified. Like, one day, this one sumo I used to go with, one driver used to drive very fast, rash driving used to do. So we went to Jayadev's house program. So he told me to finish the program so that it won't get late at night. But that day it became late for me. 9:30, 10 it became. When we were going, the driver immediately, as soon as he sat, he started driving very fast. When he came out of the road, the right side when he was turning, he just turned the steering like this fastly. But then the steering is rotating, but the sumo is going straight. Why? Then he told the steering lost its connection to the axle. Some Something happened there. Fortunately, brake was working. He put the brake. So that fellow said, Guruji, in my entire life, the vehicle never went out of my control. This is the first time I'm seeing. Suddenly the vehicle went out of my control, he said. And this will happen to all of us in our life. Many things, when it happens our way, we tend to become proud. We take the credit for the results we take. And there are going to be times when we will see that things don't happen the way we anticipate. And that is the time and Arjuna saw that after finishing the battle of Kurukshetra, that verse is there, no? Tadvai dhanushta ishavaha saratohayaste soham rati indrapatayo yada anamanti sarvam kshanena tadabhu dasadidha ishariktam basman hutam kuhakarabdam yavoptamushyam. That verse says, these are the same Gandiva Bhav, these are the same horses, same chariot, I am the same Arjuna. Why I am not able to utilize my power of Gandiva like the way I was using before? Now it has lost its potency now. Because Krishna thought if this potency continues, he may cause some damage or due to pride or anything. So he took away that power. Like this bulb you see, it is glowing. Krishna gives power and takes away power. Correct, no? So in this way, so these are the four things. Who can tell me all the four things? Four words I used. First word, responsibility, detachment, don't be proud, don't be lazy. So our work which we do should combine all these four things. Yeah. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki. Any points anybody want to make? Another 5 minutes? Can conclude. Anybody want to? Krishna Prabhu is expert in Bhagavad Gita, especially Karma Yoga. You would like to add anything? Give him a mic. Especially about this verse, you would like to say something? About many devotees have question about how you are saying we should be detached. You can tell us about something about that. Because now 2-3 of them had the question about detachment is a little difficult thing.
Nothing. I mean, you have covered everything pretty much. Just a reflection is that in Gita, Krishna is talking the rule of life. The rule of life is that we don't control the outcome of whatever we are doing. That's the rule of life. That is with everyone. So best is to focus on the journey of life itself, and allowing the destination, which is like the result, to be a little flexible. Let it take shape, the way it would come, right? So having very pinpointed goal about destination is always a problem. Nobody can do that in life. So for example, somebody can say that I want to be in politics, but you cannot say I want to become a prime minister, because that's a very specific destination. Politics means you may even be the chairman of your housing society, so you may do the local, or maybe you'll become corporate, So the thing is, one could work, so one could decide one area and say that, okay, I want to work in this. Yeah, one can say that I want to be an engineer, that is okay. But to say that I want to be engineer from IIT Bombay only is a very, very specific, destination like that. So that should be flexible. So one can have very broad goals in life, so then that frustration will not come so much. So similarly with our children also, broad goal about, very specific about how they would become a devotee, that is very, very difficult to, for us to decide that they should be devotee just like the way I am or something. So broadly we can, yes, they should have, the right kind of, some devotional inclination should be there. At least in some aspect they should take up. Correct. So it's better to keep it a little broad and keep working in that and allow the result to automatically come the way it is. So there is a magic of life where it comes out. So that is the only reflection.
Correct. And also, one very important thing which I haven't spoken in the class today is God knows best. We should be convinced about this fact. You know the story of the minister who always used to tell the king, Jo hua, acha hua. Ishwar ki icha. That he used to say that. Always, that was his nature. So once when the king's finger was cut, so this fellow was saying, Jo hua, acha hua, Ishwar ki icha, he said. So the king became angry. Finger cutting is, acha hua. So he told everybody, look at this minister, fool, huh? Such a foolish fellow, put him in the jail. He said. And then you all know that when he went to the forest, what happened? Some Durga Devi's dacoits, huh? They caught him and took him for Bali. And finding him deficient, they drove him away. Huh? They give him 2 slaps and threw him out. Huh? Then the king took his horse and came back with his life. Huh? Thank God my life is saved. I thought today is my last day, I thought. Huh? Then he came back, he wanted to thank that minister, isn't it? He got the minister out to the jail and said, oh minister, you said, Jo acha hi hua. Good that I lost a finger, otherwise I would have lost my whole life today. But then he asked, but why God put you in the jail? Wo bhi acha hua, Ishwar ki icha, he said. Then he asked, why are you saying like that? He said, agar aap mujhe jail mein nahi dalte, if you didn't put me in the jail, I would have accompanied you to the forest, isn't it? And they would have taken me for killing me. So God put me in the jail and took you to forest. So he was seeing that ultimately God knows best. Another story, one fellow saw that, there was a creeper having a big pumpkin. He laughed and said, God must be crazy, he said, isn't it? He has made in a small creeper such a big fruit and big banyan tree such a small fruit. It should be opposite. Big tree means big fruit. Small creeper means small fruit should be there. Saying like that, he lied down under the tree and then one fruit fell on his head, hit the head. He jumped up. It was causing such a great pain because it came from a height. And it caused a big bump in his head. He looked in the mirror, my Lord, imagine if this pumpkin was at the top. My head would have broken. So he said, God is not crazy. Who is crazy? I am crazy. To think God's plan is crazy. So these are all stories. Why these stories are said? God knows best. If the more we are convinced, like for example, this Rasaraja Prabhu who is very intelligent. So he was speaking in one lecture, he was telling, Karmis generally think, I invested 5 lakh rupees and I should get 50 lakhs. It should come back. Because when you have a ball, you throw a ball, it should come back to hand. That's what Karmis generally think. And that's why they commit suicide and all that. Because when they don't get the result, they get. But what happens with devotees, he said, devotees know that there is no ball, there is Krishna standing there. So when you throw the ball, he may pick up the ball and throw it back also to you. He gives results sometimes. Other times you throw the ball, he just catches and keeps it with himself only. He doesn't give you wondering what happened. Because he has another plan for you, he was telling. Because he sees that, this fellow is like Indra, for example. Every year he was getting results. And Krishna stopped the result. But that was with a good intention, to purify his ego. Correct, no? So for purifying our false ego, Krishna sometimes does like that. Sometimes Krishna gives partial result. Because he may decide what to do with us, because we are not playing with our own karma, we are playing with Krishna in life. So because Krishna is on the other side, devotee never laments. Because I am offering my work to whom? And if Krishna, for example, how many of you, before marriage, you are giving all your money to your father? Correct, no? And after marriage, you give your money to your wife, correct, no? And then ultimately somebody else is only releasing your money. Correct, no? And you are satisfied with that, correct, no? And sometimes they will release partial amount, sometimes more amount. Some wives are too responsible and they are too much in a saving mode also. They are very strict, correct, no? Some wives are like that, responsible. That's how the family is also peaceful in the long run. So, in the same manner, if Krishna is on the other side, I have done and I offered the result to him, let him decide what he wants to do with me. I am a play toy in his hands. How do you think about this consciousness? Very good consciousness. God knows best. This is one thing. Second thing, we should have a right definition of success in life. What do you consider as success? Having done a work well itself is success. If you have raised your children in Krishna conscious ambience like this for 10 to 15 years, that itself is a big success. You have done your part very well. Like there is a saying in English, the success is not in the trophy won, but it is in the race run, it is said. Like say India got to play in World Cup or something like that, internationally. That itself is a big achievement. Because first you have state level, then you have country level, then you are going to international level. Even if you fail also no problem. Because you went up to that level, that will be in the record, correct, no? In the same manner, you have to see what is success. Like you see these people write this CAT examination, like almost like 1.2 lakh boys appear. 1.2 lakh students. Out of that only is 800 students also get into IIM, I heard. 800 or 1000 people only. So where is 1000? Where is 1 lakh? What is the percentage? 1%. So do you think 99% are fools? They learn so many vocabularies. Maybe tomorrow they go abroad for GRE also. This vocabulary will be helpful or not. So the success is not in the trophy one, but in the race run. So if you have a proper definition of success, like one Mataji brought her son to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, last 4 months, every time he got first rank. She was telling. Maharaj just smiled, he said. And after they went away, he was telling Brahmachari, sometimes getting first rank always may not be good for us. Maharaj was telling. Because it can make us proud and it can make us become attached. And next time I don't get first rank, whoever gets first rank, I'll punch on his nose. Because I have become attached to first rank. So then it spoils our attitude. So sometimes Krishna may not give me first rank to make me understand that life is always not a bed of roses. So if I put ball in Krishna's court and accept whatever he gives as his grace, mercy, that life is the most joyful life. So in the Vedic life, performance of duty itself is reward. Like for example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, even if nobody comes for the lecture, you can preach to gods because you have done your part. In Juhu, Giriraj Maharaj and few devotees went for collection, money collection. And the evening they came back with empty hands that nobody gave. Prabhupada was looking from the quarters in the top. Why there is no kirtan in temple hall? Why devotees are not dancing and singing? Then Giriraj Swami climbed up and he went up and met Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, today devotees went for collection. No collection today. The devotees have become morose now. So they are not very enthused. So therefore they didn't come for the evening aarti. No, he said. Prabhupada said, why should you be morose? The person who didn't donate, he should be morose. Prabhupada said. And they were not understanding how. Then Prabhupada explained. See, our Hanuman went to Lanka to get Sita back to Ram. Similarly, we are going to people to bring Lakshmi back to Narayana. Correct, no? And by simply doing this duty, like Hanuman went and came and gave some news to Ram, he got embrace. He didn't get Sita, he only got news about Sita. For that he got embrace. The Prabhupada said, in the same manner, if you went out on behalf of Krishna to raise funds, then Krishna is already satisfied with you. Because Krishna is satisfied, you should be dancing and singing happily, Prabhupada said. And the fellow who refused to give you donation, he should be crying, alas, I didn't give donation, so I am unfortunate. And the donation giver should think that a big burden from his shoulder is removed. Imagine somebody removed a stone from your shoulder. How it is. Like that one should feel after giving donation to Krishna. One should think like that, Prabhupada said. So Prabhupada had a very right map of everything. Prabhupada says, the crying Sita in the hands of Ravana can never make Ravana happy. And a smiling Sita standing next to Rama can make Hanuman happy. You will see Mother Sita is doing like this, hand towards Hanuman. You have seen that? When she is standing. Because she is grateful to Hanuman for connecting her back to Ram. So she is smiling and blessing. She is smiling with Ram and she is blessing Hanuman. Whereas crying Sita taken away by Ravana, Ravana should be lamenting. Hanuman has done his job, he should be jolly, like the Prabhupada said. So, success in life, what is it? If you have done our duty well and done it as an offering for the Lord, some said there, we don't have to do any big things in life. Because a squirrel, could please Lord Rama, like that. Prabhupada says, the service of a calf and service of Radharani, there is no difference, Prabhupada says. For Krishna, both are same. One letter Prabhupada wrote. Service of a calf. So these are things which give us super confidence in spiritual life. That means I don't have to become a great devotee, I have to become a good devotee. Because which is easy, just like he was telling. Being a good devotee is more easy than becoming a great devotee. Correct, no? I don't have to have a big number of followers. I don't have to be a popular devotee. I don't have to be the first one to do something. But I can be one of the devotees who does his level best. And then he does with the proper attitude of responsible attitude, with the mood of detachment and no lethargy and no pride. So then our job is done. Correct, no? Yeah. Good.
Many times the reward system that we set.
Mic is on?
Many times that reward system we set also leads to the definition of success.
Correct.
Like, for book distribution.
Yeah.
Now here, the book distribution Haribol, the bigger Haribol is for the bigger number.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Instead of that, if we have, the
Somebody
endeavors put in.
correct, efforts put in.
So it is also a responsibility at times, even we as a leaders, to set right.
We can also
settings
give
of-
prizes to counselors for the number of counselors they engaged in book distribution. So we can call it as a book distribution engagement hours. For example, in your group, you engage 30 counselors. And they all went, one day they went 1 hour, another they went 2 hours. So per week, we can take the total number of hours by all the counselors. So those who engage maximum counselors and maximum hours, we can give them prizes. Instead of only the amount of books. Some guys are sitting in the computer only and they have distributed thousands of books. Right? Nowadays, people know how to go to different places in net and connect and distribute, isn't it? So we can also give prizes for the efforts. I don't know how will you give prize for the attitude. For that you have to post yourself as a second super soul and watch attitude of everybody. Isn't it? Of course, Lord sees the intention, attitude, and those things also He sees. Yeah.
Externally, it is very difficult to know even efforts as well.
Mm.
End of the day, it is
But efforts can be quantified. For example, like Shaman would always say that the temple can be considered successful if they engage maximum devotees in book distribution. Not only the number of books they distributed. Because nowadays, if you get it sponsored, you can just take from the sign sponsorship, take books and just push it off very easily.
They say even getting sponsorship is also effort and art.
But there are temples which are very huge and sponsorships come pretty easy in many places. And also, like for example, IT people, they make a lot of money nowadays. If you see monthly, they make 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees, many of them. Gone are those days when you are drawing, 5,000, 10,000 rupees. People make a lot of money now. Like boys are getting 65 lakh, 70 lakh per annum. 1 year also people are getting there. So for them to sponsor some books is not a big deal. Yeah, nowadays. In IT area, anywhere if you're preaching, usually they'll sponsor many sets of Bhagavatam. Seriously. So non-sponsored sets pushing is not very easy. But if many, many hands join together, that is Sankirtan. That would be very nice. I heard of because Vaisheshika takes a big group of people Saturday, Sunday morning, sometimes 200 people also out for distribution. Once in a month, he inspires people for MSF, we call it now. Monthly Sankirtan Festival. Yeah. Yes.
You said for a devotee, the motive is to please Krishna.
Please Guru and Krishna.
Please Guru and
And
Krishna.
to purify the heart. Purifying heart is in Sattva-guna.
In the slide you are mentioning for the Nishkam Karma Yogis, it is purification. Motive is purification.
Correct.
That will not be for the devotee part.
Devotee, we are actually, we all go through the Nishkama Karma stage and then we come to the Jnani's Brahmabhuta stage, and then we also have to give up our tendency to control, which the yogis have. See, karmis have tendency to have proprietorship. Therefore, they say, Indraya Swaha, Idam Namama. They say, I don't want to be proprietor. And Jnanis, Aham Brahmasmi. So they have to do Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekam. They need Viveka Buddhi to know what is Nitya and Anitya. Then Iha Amutra Bhogadi Viradam, which means on the earthly and heavenly planets pleasures. One should develop Vairagya from there. And then Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, they call it, which means Shama, Dama, Tapa, Shaucham, Kranti, all those things, 6 qualities they have to attain. Then Mumukshutvam. Then liberation. So even we also have to attain these things also to go to Brahma Buddha stage. But we do it with surrounded by devotees and offering fruits to Krishna like that. So it's more easy, smooth it is compared to what Jnanis have to do. Then when we come to Brahma Buddha stage, from there real bhakti begins. Mad Bhaktir Lavatepa. Shuddha Bhakti begins after 00 only. That means what we are doing now, many times it may not be Shuddha Bhakti, many times. It is mixed with, we say, Tamasic Bhakti, Rajasic Bhakti, Sattvic Bhakti, whatever Kapila explains. So in this way, Karmi and Yogi stage, we also go through. But we go through as a devotee. And they go through thinking of God to be Supreme Brahman or worshipping some demigods, all that they do. It's clear, no? Yeah. Any Matas want to say anything? Yeah, please give the mic to her.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said that we should do our duty
Yeah.
and then that's our success. We
Yes.
don't worry about,
If you've done it well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then when we see that we did our duty for our children,
Yeah.
and they did not take up to devotional service,
Because they all
a
come with their Purva Janma Prarabdha Karma also.
so there is a pain in the heart. Like I
Correct.
have seen some senior devotees,
That pain is because of our expectation. Because I put this input, then the output didn't come. Therefore, we feel the pain.
even seeing them suffering and going through whatever they are going through is painful. That
Correct. Yeah.
they had so much opportunity, they received so much, but yet they are going through this. So that pain is there. I mean, how to deal
That
with
is due to affection also. We have affection for them. One thing is, you will see that, like for example, there are girls who don't want to marry at all. Like one brother wants to get his sister settled. She doesn't want to marry. And his elder sister got married and divorced and came back. She is at home also. So he was very much lamenting that, one is divorced and one is not marrying. I'm worried what will happen to them in future. So he is worried about them more than themselves. But these girls, both of them are IT engineers. They are wearing jeans and t-shirt and going all over the world. So I told this boy, Prabhu, you don't have to worry. Because, they are not dependent on you. They are saying they are more than man. They are saying that they're earning a lot of money. They have their own bank balance. They are flying all over the world. But you are feeling that mamata for them. Therefore you are worried about them. But they don't want to be in your shelter, or they don't expect any protection from you as a brother. So I told him, so you tell them that I am available for you. Anytime you want help from me, I am available. I am here. You want to go all over the world, you go. But I am available, and you give them, if possible, some Krishna consciousness, if possible, connect them to some devotees. And then each of us have to fly our own plane. Prabhupada says that each of us, even in a family, he says, yata prayanti samyanti sroto vegena balukaha samyujjante viyujjante tata kalena dehinah. This is in Chitraketu section. Sometimes leaves fall from a tree in a river. The leaves come together and they go together and they get separated and they go with other groups of leaves. Similarly, one soul is called mother soul, then father soul, son soul, daughter soul. And if they have a dog also in their house, then dog soul. All are staying in one family. And the more we interact with each other, their affection develops. Strong attachment bond develops over a period of time. And then we generally tend to think we are one unit, but we are not actually. Because one by one people move out. Like my mother passed away, my father passed away. We saw now my father's brother recently passed away also. So we are seeing that everybody flies their own plane. And they go according to the karma to different destinations they go, like that. So therefore, Atma Tattvam it is said that Atma can be purified. Atma Adhyatma Vidyaya, it is said. The purification of the soul happens by Adhyatma Vidya. You read the Chitraketu section and read the preachings of Narada Muni to Prachina Parishad, you will get immense help. Because reading those sections will make us understand that every soul is like the gold and other commodities, he's saying. Some people even in currency note they sign, they put the signature, but is it going to remain with you? It will go to others' pocket, then third pocket, fourth pocket. Similarly, the soul also goes from one family, then second family, third family, fourth family. They keep on moving. It's called Sarvaga. He's moving everywhere. Sometimes king, sometimes praja, sometimes animal, sometimes bird. So we should not think that these people who are with me, they are mine. They are not our part and parcels. They are Krishna's part and parcels. What is that verse 15.7? Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta. Mataji exactly asked a good question, because Krishna says we should see our relatives as Krishna's parts and parcels put in our custody. Like you are given a husband, you are given a child. So these are all Krishna's part and parcels put in your custody for your. So you have to show them affection in a detached way. That means my duty to show them affection, duty to give them guidance, and being responsible in my service to them, I should do that. And after that, what they want to do, for that they will have their karmic account. So you have your karmic account, they have their karmic account. And I know very well what you're saying. If it comes to blood relatives, it's very painful for us, because we want them to be in a certain way so that they can become happy. You only wish their happiness. But what to do. Every jiva has his free will, you know. Therefore, Krishna is teaching us detachment. One, God knows best. That's one. Another aspect is, I am not the ultimate controller, proprietor, enjoyer. Aham na mama. Yeah, idam na mama. Yeah.
In a way, I mean, not only devotees regret, as such, nothing is hereditary. We have seen really very big,
Krishna Shubhatu Prasad?
yeah,
Yeah.
very big business people, and their children are so mediocre that the father is lamenting, I created such a huge business empire, and this fellow is so useless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is not only devotees regret that devotee doesn't, son or a daughter may or may not become devotee. Many times even a king's son may be a,
Correct.
very debauchee or kind of a
Correct.
thing. So
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. It happens. And we are not the only one. There's another way we can solace ourselves. Correct? No? We can say that, you are not the only one. There are many who have problems. And also one more thing in our lives, we can actually make a gratitude journal. For example, I will begin my gratitude journal writing, first of all the parts of my body are intact, correct now? All of you here have 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose, mouth, everything is proper. There is no handicap in your body. That's the first gratitude, correct now? You got a body. Then you got birth in a good family, good father, mother, good souls who raised you with good sanskars. Can be grateful for that. Then we can be grateful for the good teachers we got in our life. We can be grateful to the devotees who introduced us to Krishna consciousness. We can be grateful to the Diksha Guru who has taken away our karmic reactions and he has given us, Krishna conscious ambience and association. We can be grateful for that. We can be grateful to Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON, and we can be grateful to Krishna for coming in varieties of forms and enveloping our lives. It has come as holy rivers, holy books, holy name, holy prasad, holy temples, holy deities. So when you write your gratitude journal, my Lord, you can write hundreds of pages. And the more we feel gratitude for what we have, that satisfaction will overflood our heart, and other things which are lacking, we will be able to forget. Now, in connection to our children also, you will see one parent was telling me, even though my son is not a devotee, at least he is well behaved towards parents and grandparents. He is respectful to grandparents. He is pious. Also, sometimes if sadhus come to our home, he is not disrespectful to them. And he is not atheistic. There was one girl like that in one of the families. She was very fond of Rama, Sita Ram. She was not attracted to any other god. But she won't chant Hare Krishna, she won't come to ISKCON temple. And, she was feeling that in ISKCON temple, you people are too much spiritual, She said that, I want to be good. I believe in God. I want to be pious, but allow me to go at my own pace. And she liked only humanitarian people like that. So her mother used to say that, she likes humanitarian behavior, good behavior, but she is not so much after chanting Hare Krishna and everything. But I was telling that if you give her a good ambience, eventually such people can come to Krishna consciousness. They may have some bitter experience with devotees sometimes, but over a period of time, they meet some good devotees, they can come to devotion service. Sometimes Gaurang Prabhu had one friend whom Gaurang Prabhu used to push him to chant, but that fellow will never increase beyond one round, And every year Gaurang Prabhu would go to America, he would try to call him and trying to make him chant. Now, after 16 years, that fellow has come to 16 rounds now, And Gaurang Prabhu came to know that he increased one round every year. He was our IT friend. So, Gaurang Prabhu was telling that we have to be patient with anybody. We have done our part, then we have to be patient. See, when it comes to endeavor, we should not be patient. Because endeavor is in whose hands? Our hands. When it comes to results, we have to be patient. Because it is in whose hands? That's it. But unfortunately, we do the reverse we do. When it comes to endeavor, we are not so much endeavoring. We are very peaceful and patient in that. People have to push us, do it. And when it comes to result, we are impatient, correct? Isn't it? Yeah, now it's getting late now. Can you do 5 minutes kirtan and conclude? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagannath. Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam. Govinda Hari Govinda, Venkataramana Govinda. Srinivasa Govinda, Shri Venkatesa Govinda. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, थैंक यू वेरी मच, और भक्त वृंद की जय।